Close your eyes for just 5 seconds. Now imagine stepping outside your house. Instead of reaching for your car keys, instead of waiting for a bus, instead of getting stuck in traffic, you simply spread two enormous wings, one powerful flap, then another, and suddenly, you're soaring thousands of feet above the earth. No engines, no fuel, no airplane, just you. Sounds like a dream. But here's the real question. What if humans had evolved to fly naturally? Would the world become a paradise? Or would it become even more dangerous than it is today? The answer is far stranger than most people imagine. Because if humans could truly fly, everything about our civilization, our history, our cities, even our bodies, would be completely different. Let's begin. For millions of years, evolution has shaped every living creature on Earth. Fish conquered the oceans. Reptiles ruled the land. Birds conquered the skies. But humans became the masters of intelligence instead. We traded wings for brains. Instead of growing feathers, we invented airplanes. Instead of powerful claws, we built tools. Instead of flying, we created technology. But imagine evolution had taken a different path. Imagine that hundreds of thousands of years ago, a small group of ancient humans was born with tiny feather-like wings. At first, they couldn't fly. They could only glide from rocks or trees. Most scientists would probably think they wouldn't survive. But evolution rewards anything that increases survival. Those tiny wings help them escape predators, reach food faster, cross dangerous rivers, climb mountains with less effort, generation after generation. Those wings slowly became larger, stronger, more efficient. After hundreds of thousands of years, humans no longer walked everywhere. They ruled the skies. But flying isn't free. Nature always demands a price. Look at birds today. Almost every part of their body is built for flight. Their bones are hollow. Their muscles are incredibly powerful. Their hearts beat much faster than ours. Even their lungs work differently. If humans evolved naturally to fly, our bodies would look completely different. Our bones would become much lighter. Our chest muscles would become enormous. Our shoulders would be much wider. Our arms would transform into massive wings. Our fingers would stretch into long supports holding feathers between them. Even our legs would become thinner to reduce weight. And here's the shocking part. The average human today is simply too heavy to fly. An adult weighing around 70 kilograms would need an enormous wingspan, far larger than any eagle, to stay in the air. That means if evolution wanted us to fly, it wouldn't just give us wings. It would redesign our entire body from the inside out. Our hearts, our lungs, our muscles, even the way we breathe, would all be different. We wouldn't just be humans with wings. We would become an entirely new species. Now imagine waking up tomorrow in that world. You open your bedroom window, stretch your wings, and jump. Instead of falling, you rise. The streets below are almost empty. Why? Because people travel through the sky. Children fly to school. Doctors fly to hospitals. Police patrol the skies instead of roads. Traffic jams no longer happen on highways. Instead, they happen in the clouds. Imagine thousands of people flying above a city every morning. Would there be flying traffic lights, sky police, air lanes, speed limits in the clouds? It sounds funny, but they would probably become necessary. Because one collision at hundreds of meters above the ground could be fatal. And that changes everything. Imagine this. You've just finished work. The sun is setting. Instead of getting into a car, you leap from the roof of your office. Your wings catch the evening wind. Within minutes, you're flying peacefully over forests, rivers, and glowing city lights. It sounds beautiful. But every amazing ability comes with unexpected consequences. Because if every human could fly, the world would have to rebuild itself from the ground up. Cities would never look the same. Take a look around your city today. Roads, bridges, traffic lights, parking lots, motorways. Now ask yourself, would we still need them? Probably not. Instead of building wide roads, engineers would build massive sky platforms. Homes would have huge rooftop entrances instead of front doors. Apartment buildings might have landing balconies on every floor. Schools could have giant landing zones for students. Hospitals would include emergency sky pads where injured people could fly in directly. Even shopping centers would have hundreds of air parking spaces instead of car parks. The sky would become the new highway. Cars might become history. Think about it. Why spend thousands on a car? Pay for fuel, insurance, repairs. When you can simply fly, car companies might disappear. Petrol stations could become museums. Driving licenses might become useless. Instead, governments could introduce something completely different. A flying license. Children might spend years learning how to control their wings safely. There could even be flying schools where students learn how to land during strong winds, how to avoid mid-air collisions, how to fly through storms, and how to rescue someone falling from the sky. Flying would become a skill, just like driving is today. Weather would become your biggest enemy. Here's something most people never think about. Birds don't stop flying because they're lazy. Sometimes, the weather is simply too dangerous. Imagine trying to fly through thunderstorms, heavy rain, snow, fog, or powerful winds. One strong gust could throw you hundreds of meters away. Lightning could become one of the biggest dangers for flying humans. People would check weather forecasts every morning before leaving home. Not because they plan to drive, but because they plan to fly. Some days, the sky would be completely closed, just like airports close during dangerous weather today. Crime would change forever. Now imagine you're a police officer. A thief steals something valuable. Instead of running down a street, he launches into the sky. How do you catch him? Police would need special flying units, sky patrols, air surveillance. Even prisons would need roofs strong enough to stop prisoners escaping. Burglars could enter houses through upper windows. Banks would require aerial security. Rich families might build invisible protective nets around their homes. Crime wouldn't disappear. It would simply move into the air. Sports would become incredible. Forget football. Forget basketball. Imagine the first flying World Cup. Players racing through the air, passing the ball while soaring hundreds of feet above the ground. Or imagine aerial racing, where athletes dive between mountains at incredible speeds. The Olympic Games would include dozens of new events: sky marathons, cloud obstacle races, precision flying, vertical climbing without ropes. Even simple games like tag would become impossible to imagine on the ground. Human entertainment would completely evolve. War would never be the same throughout history. Humans have always used their greatest abilities during war. If humans could naturally fly, armies would become almost unrecognizable. Soldiers could attack from above without aircraft. Castles would lose their protective walls. Mountains would no longer provide safety. Countries would create massive aerial defense systems. The sky would become the most dangerous battlefield on Earth. Entire military strategies would change forever. But there is one huge problem. Flying requires an enormous amount of energy. Birds eat constantly because flight burns huge numbers of calories. If humans flew every day, our bodies would need far more food than they do now. A normal breakfast might not be enough. We could need several large meals every single day just to keep enough energy to stay airborne. Food would become even more important than fuel is today. Without enough energy, you simply couldn't fly. And if your strength disappeared while you were high in the sky, the consequences could be terrifying. Imagine this. It's early morning. The sun rises over the horizon. Thousands, no, millions of people leave their homes at the same time. But instead of opening car doors, they spread their wings. Within seconds, the sky fills with life. Children laugh as they glide through the air. Workers fly toward giant floating skyscrapers. Birds and humans share the same sky. It looks like paradise. But is it? Love would be different. If humans could fly, even relationships would change. Long-distance relationships, they might almost disappear. Want to visit someone 30 kilometers away? Just fly there. Friends could meet whenever they wanted. Families living far apart would stay much closer. The world would feel smaller than ever before. Borders would become harder to control today. Countries protect their borders with fences, walls, and checkpoints. But what happens when millions of people can simply fly over them? Governments would have to invent completely new ways to protect their countries. The sky would become one of the most heavily monitored places on Earth. There might even be invisible air corridors that everyone must follow. Breaking those rules could be as serious as breaking international law. Nature would change. Two humans would reach places that were once almost impossible to access. High mountains, hidden forests, remote islands. Nothing would remain truly isolated. While this could help scientists discover new species, it could also harm nature. Animals would lose many of the peaceful places they once called home. Some birds might even have to compete with humans for nesting areas. The balance of nature could change forever. Evolution never stops. Here's something fascinating. Evolution doesn't end. It keeps changing every living species. If humans had been flying for millions of years, future humans might look nothing like us. Our wings could become even larger. Our eyesight could become as sharp as an eagle's. Our bones might become lighter, our muscles stronger, our hearts bigger, our lungs more powerful. After enough time, people living on Earth today might not even recognize their own descendants. They wouldn't simply be humans. They would be an entirely new branch of humanity. But would flying really make us happier? At first, probably. Freedom has always been one of humanity's greatest dreams. Flying wherever you wanted, seeing the world from above, feeling the wind beneath your wings. It sounds magical. But remember, every gift comes with responsibility. Flying accidents would happen. Storms would become deadly. People could get lost in the sky. New diseases affecting wings might appear. Insurance, sky traffic, air pollution, even noise in the skies could become everyday problems. The dream of flight would also create challenges no one expected. The biggest surprise. Here's the twist. Humans may never grow wings naturally, not because evolution failed, but because it found something even more powerful. Our brain, instead of changing our bodies, we changed the world. We invented gliders, then balloons, then airplanes, then helicopters, then rockets. Today, we fly higher and faster than any bird on Earth. Not because we evolved wings, but because we evolved intelligence. That may be humanity's greatest superpower. Ending so, if humans could fly naturally, would the world become better or more dangerous? Would you still choose to have wings, knowing all the risks? Let me know your answer in the comments. If you enjoyed exploring this incredible what-if scenario, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Beyond Evolution, and join us for another journey into the mysteries of humanity, evolution, and the impossible. Because sometimes the craziest questions lead to the most fascinating discoveries. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next evolution.